Hello everyone, welcome to Bosman at Home. Today I'm going to do a barrel roll. I'm Kyle Bosman, this is my kitchen, and today's video is a video that I've wanted to do for a while. I've been hoping to make this video for quite some time, and I think I got how to do this. I'm going to tell you a story. Today's episode is a story. It's a story about the Wii U. It's a story about Star Fox Zero. It's a story about Shigeru Miyamoto. And so this is a long one. Buckle up, everybody. I've written a lot of things down today. And I think the way to start our story is the way a lot of movies like to start. A lot of TV pilots love doing this. We start at the end of Act 2. We start where things are bad. We're here, we're the audience. We're saying, how did things get this bad? This is a nasty situation. I'm listening, I'm excited. And then, we'll go back in time to explain everything. But where we're going to start today is 2 weeks ago. Prologue. Boom, put this up. Two weeks ago. Nintendo had a financial report. Had to explain how they did this year, this fiscal year, anyway. And not good is the response to that. So leading up to this, a lot of rumors and speculation would have us believe that Nintendo might have some news about the NX, about, hey, it's coming out this year, here's what we're planning for the lineup, here's the name of it at least. We got much less than that. In fact, the NX is not coming out this year. It is coming out March of 2017. Zelda for Wii U, that will also be coming out on NX at the same time, sometime in 2017. That is not coming out this year. Maybe you might be looking forward to E3 right now. Maybe you're thinking, oh, they'll have some Wii U games at E3. No, please don't do that. At E3 this year, there will only be Zelda. There will be no digital event, despite the fact that we do have more unreleased games. We want to focus only on Zelda. On the show floor, there will be only Zelda. Please do not look forward to the Wii U. Alright, and then we need a shot right now of Shigeru Miyamoto in the audience, staring forward with a frown, eyes glazed over. He glances down at his phone. What's on his phone? Metacritic.com? Star Fox Zero. Metascore 69. Chapter 1. The Mission. So 2 years earlier, January 2014, the Wii U has just had its second holiday season. And it is not officially a failure, but it is definitely, at this point, officially a disappointment. So Satoru Iwata is doing much like we just saw Kimishima doing. He's now giving a presentation and saying, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what he stated. Our top priority task this year is to offer software titles that are made possible because of the gamepad. We have managed to offer several of such software titles for occasion when many people gather in one place to play, but we have not been able to offer a decisive software title that enriches the user's gameplay experience when playing alone with the gamepad. This will be one of the top priorities of Mr. Miyamoto's software development department this year. Calls out Miyamoto by name. That's unusual. It's exciting, the idea of, Miyamoto's gonna make some games. Here we go. He's on the mission. We got a slight update 2 months later. At the corporate management policy briefing this January, I explained that the company would prioritize making and proposing Wii U software titles that can only be made possible with the Wii U gamepad. We are planning to disclose our progress on this at E3 in Los Angeles in June. So there it is. The stage is set. That's only a month from now. Miyamoto's gonna come and show us new games that show us that the Wii U makes sense, that the gamepad is valuable, that there's something redeeming about this, that hey, there's reason to believe in the Wii U. Chapter 2, E3 2014. So here it comes. Everybody's wringing their hands together for Nintendo's digital event when this article leaks on time.com, and in this article, in this interview, we learn that Miyamoto has brought 3 games to E3. Project Guard, Project Giant Robot, and a new Star Fox game. That's a pretty big deal. None of these are particularly praised in this article interview, however. In fact, the interviewer, Matt Peckham, pretty much goes on to say, not mincing words, says, I don't get it. I don't like looking at the two screens. I'm not grasping this. And here's some foreshadowing. Miyamoto replies, "You will get it. Most people get it between a half hour to an hour. So just hang in there. I'm right about this. It's too late to change now." The Nintendo Direct finally comes, the digital event, I mean, and throughout the whole thing, we're waiting for these games, we're waiting for Miyamoto's games, they were promised, and then the grand finale, the last thing shown of the digital event is this, blur, blur, blur. That's it. Star Fox is not ready to be seen, everybody. It won't be on the show floor. We're not ready to show it to you yet. Please be excited for that. Project Giant Robot, Project Guard are. You can go play those on the show floor, and people did. And they are not fun. They're not very fun. They're not spectacular, certainly. They are not evidently proving that the gamepad is valuable. You for yourself can go and see what Nintendo streamed. They streamed these games. Project Giant Robot is still up there. You can see that for yourself. Meanwhile, this is the E3 that Splatoon was announced and Mario Maker was announced, but Nintendo decides to funnel PR toward Miyamoto to talk about his innovative ideas, like Project Guard, a game that defies genre. It's not tower defense, don't you call it that. No, we decided that this game does not fit into any genre. Let's cut to a shot of some guy. It probably looks a lot like me. He's waiting in a very short line to try Project Giant Robot. He gets there, he is at first baffled when he learns that you control the robot by bobbling the gamepad. First a befuddled expression, then one of anguish. He turns around and leaves the demo before it's finished. Then a sexy Catwoman blows him a kiss. Chapter 3. After E3, months go by, years go by. Star Fox Zero gets a name, gets an official title, gets trailers, gets attention. Project Guard, Project Giant Robot disappear. No screenshots, no interviews for those games, nothing, gone, poof, except that Nintendo does continue to put them in its financial reports saying, "Oh, Wii U software is coming, look at this." Even their advertisements, "Hey, look, these games are good. Wii U's got games coming, look at these two." Of course, Star Fox also listed on that. What's this one? But anyway, Star Fox 2015, big deal. It's coming. It's big fall release. In September of 2015, Shigeru Miyamoto personally writes us a message on Facebook to explain that Star Fox Zero is delayed. It's nice that he took personal responsibility for this. He did say this. "We now believe that we will need a little more time to work on areas such as the unprecedented discovery that we want players to experience in the game by using two screens, and further polishing the level designs and perfecting the tone of the cutscenes." So that was highly unusual. We very rarely ever hear Miyamoto say, "I need cutscenes," and to delay a game to refine cutscenes, unheard of. This is the man, no, with Paper Mario, who asked if Paper Mario really needs a story. Does it? Does Paper Mario really need a story? So he thinks, yeah, Star Fox absolutely needs it. In March of 2016, Miyamoto has an interview with Matt Peckham, who, you might remember, is the interviewer who unintentionally announced Star Fox Zero in the first place. Star Fox at the time. Anyway, in this interview, Miyamoto says this about the story of Star Fox Zero. "For the Star Fox story, what's really important are the relationships between General Pepper and Andross, and Fox and his father. I didn't want to try to tell a new story. So, by keeping those relationships at the core, then going back to the Star Fox 64 story framework, we've added quite a bit of story to that, and introduced the idea of these teleporters. The teleporters have an important role, both from a story as well as gameplay standpoint. And that's allowed us to strengthen the original story that existed in Star Fox 64. And he says this all with a straight face. Chilling. Chapter 4, Guard is alive. Meanwhile, in March, the month before this game releases, Project Guard resurfaces as Star Fox Guard, a $15 digital game that you can also get If you buy the boxed version of this for $60, you get Star Fox Zero and Star Fox Guard together. That's a savings of $5, baby. I think here we need a shot of Miyamoto. It's night. He's in his office pretty late. He's looking at the box art for Star Fox Guard, which is great. And he thinks to himself, there's 100 levels. And I mean, people can make new levels by modifying the waves of enemies, and then they can share those with friends. So this is virtually endlessly replayable. But have I accomplished my mission? Does this prove the value of the gamepad? Chapter 5. The Story of Star Fox Zero. We, to this day, do not know when Miyamoto was talking about those teleporters, if he was being sincere, or if he was just in PR mode. Right, maybe he was in PR mode. Maybe you get to this point where you have to try to pitch everything as a feature. I want to believe that, because I don't want to believe that this man is a video game director who somehow believes that those teleporters have any significant influence on the story or the gameplay, because they don't. When he delays the game to perfect the tone of the cutscenes, we don't know which cutscenes he was talking about. The one in the beginning or the one in the end, because they're both bad. He might be talking about when the game pulls the camera away from you mid-mission, but that is certainly not refined in its tone. The case is, Shigeru Miyamoto, supervising director of Star Fox Zero, has created a stupid story. You can fairly call this a stupid story. It's dumb. By stupid story, I mean one with no escalation, with no real progression to it, with no twists. You don't need a twist, they're nice to have, but this is a story that plays out exactly as you expect it to. If you've not played the game, just right now, imagine the final boss. Yep, it's that one. That's the final boss. That one's coming. For some reason, he's very attached to that final boss. It's created a story where the characters don't matter. They're just there. Falco Lombardi, what impact does he have? Besides just being a voice to chatter at you. Nothing. Introduces characters that don't matter. Here's Kitty Malone. Kitty Monroe? Yeah, I think it's Kitty Monroe. Nope, it's Cat Monroe. I looked this up later. It is K-A-T-T Monroe. So I'm about to say the name Kitty a bunch of times. Please just imagine whenever I say Kitty, I'm actually saying cat. She looks like this. She's sexy. She says sexy things. And basically, every single line this cat creature says is either a reference to how she's a woman or is flirtatious in nature. She's just that. She doesn't exist beyond that. She's just at the bottom of a laser well. You save her. She says, "Let's do this at my place next time. See ya, Foxy boy." Worse yet, Fox McCloud has no reaction to that. That just happens. Why introduce a character if the other characters don't have reactions? Because when you introduce a character into a story, the idea is that you're supposed to make us look differently at the characters we already have, right? They show us a different perspective on the characters we have now. Those interactions open to new things. Maybe sometimes the characters actually progress the plot forward. Maybe they help the story. No, not Kitty. Kids don't need that. Kids, let's get a shot. Let's get another shot. There's a kid playing this game, okay? Little kid playing this game saves Kitty Monroe, and she says, "I could kiss you for that." Fox McCloud, no reaction. The child stares down at the gamepad, looks back to her father on the couch, and says, "Father, why does this game treat me like an idiot?" Remember, this kid has grown up in a post-Pixar world, right? Kids' TV isn't stupid anymore. Kids' movies aren't stupid anymore. They have characters who have depth. They have stories that are complicated. Those characters have emotions. The father, sitting on the couch with one arm propped up, says, "Shut up, Isabel. Gameplay comes first." Chapter 6. Everything else about Star Fox Zero. Star Fox Zero does not review well. There's no way to say this game reviewed well. You can't... I realize you can be cute and say 69, that's actually a pretty good score. It's not. Especially by Nintendo standards, especially by Miyamoto standards. And, I mean, yeah, it's stupid to look at Metacritic. It absolutely is. However, if you just look at the words, most reviews are going to talk about these controls. Some people love them. The majority of reviewers did not love the controls, and it was a major issue. It was the reason this game exists. This game would not have existed if it weren't for some gimmick with the gamepad. I don't want to use the word gimmick, I'm sorry for saying that. If it weren't for some implementation of the gamepad, this game would not happen. It exists for that mission. And so I don't want to talk about it too much. It's kind of an inevitability that it would have some sort of motion gamepad integration. When you look at the game beside those things, what does it do that's special? What is innovative about this game? What are the fresh ideas that are exciting? Yeah, you get to turn into that chicken walker that was featured in the 1995 Star Fox 2, the unrightfully canceled Star Fox 2, but it doesn't do anything with a chicken walker. There's no real thing where it's like, oh, this is why this is a good idea for this game. That's never there. Never an interesting thing to do as the chicken version of the R-Wing. I mean, yeah, you can be a helicopter and you can drop this little drone who's tethered to you, and that drone can go and do things. However, the leash is so short that the little robot drone never makes more than one turn. Which is so silly. Maybe it'd be cool if you could drop it and then the drone goes into a maze, you know, and discovers things that you can't see outside of it. No, it's a very short leash for some reason. It's all just there. The level design that needed polishing is, I'm not sure what was meant by level design. The alternate paths are never exciting. There's never a surprise, really, again, even in the level design, even in the progression of this video game. Star Fox Zero, worldwide, just in the hearts of all, has been more of a detriment to the gamepad than anything. Which, when you compare it to Splatoon, when you compare it to Super Mario Maker, those games succeeded in showing value in the gamepad. They did it. When you look at Star Fox Zero, no, I don't think it did. The reviews show, no, it did not. And so I think you have to look at this as a failure for Shigeru Miyamoto. You do. He's done many, many great things, but this mission Save the Gamepad, he failed at this. He had Star Fox Zero, he had Project Guard, a super long $15 minigame, and Project Giant Robot. Where's Project Giant Robot? Miyamoto says this: Project Giant Robot was something we started as a second project, and ultimately, we haven't yet decided to turn that into a full game. Chapter 7, The Death of the Wii U. Despite that statement, look what we got here on Nintendo's most recent financial reports. Look at what's coming to the Wii U. Burp, burp, burp. Why? I guess just to put another word on this list. That's not a good list. I'm sure that more games will be added to this list, at least one, right? There's got to be something this fall on the Wii U. It's bad. You know, Nintendo also says they are predicting they will sell 800,000 Wii U units worldwide this year. It's not worth getting too pessimistic about. It is worth remarking. This is remarkable. This is the worst situation Nintendo has ever been in since they started making video games, since the introduction of the Famicom, since the day I was born. This is the worst they've ever looked. This is the worst year they've had. That's at least worth like, oh well, here we go, put this one in the history books. And you know, it's the sad story of the Wii U. This is how the Wii U dies. The Wii U had a rough beginning, it had an okay middle, and it has a just depressing end. Star Fox Zero is a part of that. It's part of Miyamoto's failure to prove that the gamepad is valuable, is part of the history of the Wii U. It's part of the story. It's part of it all. So with this episode, with this video, I don't want to paint Shigeru Miyamoto as the villain. He's not. He's not a villain. I do want to paint him as a George Lucas type, right? Here's someone who, at a time, innovated, who changed the game forever, created new possibilities, opened everyone's mind to what this medium is capable of. Today, I don't know. Today, I don't know if he's got it. I don't know if he can hack it today. When I read stories about his contributions, about Miyamoto flipping the tea table, today it sounds more like meddling than anything. It doesn't feel like, oh, thank goodness Miyamoto is there setting everybody straight at Nintendo. it says like, oh, well, maybe Miyamoto maybe stay out of that one. It just feels like that. That's the impression I get. Obviously, I'm not there. Obviously, I've never had a first-hand account of what Miyamoto does to video games. However, we do have now a video game that he has created, right? We have Star Fox Zero. We have Star Fox Guard. And we can say safely, you might love those games. They're not legendary games. We can pretty much safely say we can tell the story about the time Miyamoto failed. And that's what I came here to do today. It's just tell that story. And that is the episode for this week. I should say the gap between episode 2 and 3 of Bosman at Home has been greater than I expected it to be, but I refuse to apologize for that. I said episode 1, this will not be a weekly show. Clearly I proved that to be true. It was longer than I expected, but who knows when episode 4 will come? Who knows? I can't say. That feels good for me to say. I like that. That's relieving. And I hope that you can appreciate that. What else? Oh, patreon.com/easyallies is what else. This is a big deal. This Easy Allies is a group of, let's just say it, former Game Trailers people who have banded together to continue making videos about video games and podcasts and live streams. And we're making very interesting stuff. Please go to patreon.com/easyallies to see if you might like what we're doing. You might not. I'm not going to judge you for not liking our stuff. That's perfectly fine. If you want to give me a thumbs down on this video, I get it. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman. I'll be back here again. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the Shigeru Miyamoto School of Video Game Storytelling. Rule number 1, story doesn't matter. This one's pretty straightforward, not much to say here. If you do find yourself butting heads with an established director with a proven mastery of storytelling, simply take him on a 5-hour walk to explain why he is wrong. Rule number 2, don't be cute. Make your heroes men. Please refer to my recent masterpiece, Star Fox Zero. This is a story of heroic men clashing with villainous men. There is one woman, but she does not matter. Please note that she has absolutely no impact on the story or game's progression. Just a little eye candy for the boys. Next, look at my world-famous Mario characters. Do you notice anything different about the body shapes between the men and the women? Yep, the men have weird bozo bodies, and the women have fit, slightly proportionate bodies. We could make a lanky or perhaps chubby princess, but that would be unattractive, defeating the entire purpose of having a female character in the first place. Sometimes you may be forced to include a woman like I was with Pikmin 3. In that case, make the woman pink, the color of girls. If she has a spacesuit, put a skirt on it. For a negative example, look no further than Nintendo's own Splatoon. Here, male and female characters are presented equally while retaining gender identity. This is just a shame. Rule number 3, do not let your heroes say or do anything interesting. The person playing your game is probably a little boy. It could be someone in his 50s. It is definitely some kind of boy. However, we do not know how this boy thinks. As such, if your main character is sassy, or anxious, or bashful, or conflicted in any way, you run the risk of the gamer, i.e. the boy, becoming disconnected from the main character. The main character should have no flaws, no sense of humor, and pale skin. Well, that's pretty much it. Good luck with your video games.